Hey, this is Captainoob and this is the XM50 rifle. This is a high-powered rifle, very modular, and is injected into the leveled list so you can find it on enemies and NPCs and probably shops and all that too. So pretty good package there. Anyways, for the receivers, we can make this thing do the best damage with the advanced stuff. So we've got the advanced 450 RPM receiver. I think that's a little bit more than we get out of the advanced one. This is a basic advanced one, so yes, we can make it 450 RPM there, and it went down there for some reason, but that's weird. You're gonna also make this fire 308s, which will reduce the recoil and damage, and a 50 beehive receiver will make this more like a shotgun type thing. We'll keep that as that for now, and we'll move on to the barrel. So we've got the carbine barrel on now. You get heavier recoil, but faster ADS out of this thing. Heavy barrel will increase your range, and will make the recoil a little bit better because of the increased weight of the weapon. You can make that lightweight, and that'll actually give you a little bit less of a weight penalty too. Not by all that much, to be honest, but sure, we'll take it. Now for the stocks, you've got the stub stock there, which says used with extreme caution, even though Fallout 4 really doesn't have many of the stock mechanics, but whatever. So we'll go for the recoiling stock because that'll give us the best recoil control, because there's quite a bit on this thing, firing those high powered bullets and all of that. And for the magazines, we'll go ahead and chuck on the drum one on because 24 rounds is pretty good, and also looks pretty neat there too. Now for the sights, we've got the bead sight now, which actually looks really cool. It's sort of slanted on the side there, so you don't have to aim directly over the top of the weapon, but it lines up perfectly anyway, which is kind of nice. You can have a holographic sight there that looks like just an assault rifle reflex sight, just propped up a little bit. And you've got the basic scopes that you'd find on your any old weapons. These are ones see-through scopes, but the one I'm most interested in is the M77 gun sight. This says a computer-assisted aiming to help correct shooter error on distant targets. So I'm not sure what that's going to do, but maybe it'll make the bullets seek your enemies, which would be kind of interesting, so we'll definitely test that out. And we'll put a suppressor on this because that'll increase our damage, although that's going to have to be a really strong suppressor to make sure all the gases escaping from the 50 BMGs are going to be suppressed or whatever. And of course, a legendary effect is there if you need it. So we'll grab a couple more of these, we'll head into Gunner's Plaza and see what this bad boy can do, eh? Alright, here we are in Gunner's Plaza with our XM50 there. So, using this thing in first person, you might notice that the stock is right in your face, and that is because this thing is using the basic SMG animations, and the SMG stock is a little bit further down than this one in compared to the body of the weapon, but in third person in power armor here, it looks pretty good. Now, you might notice the springs and stuff coiled around the barrel, around the receiver, and they serve a specific purpose. If I just fire into this door here whilst no one is watching, they won't notice me. And as you can tell, the barrel goes back, which is, it's really cool. Obviously, it's for controlling recoil, but it's a nice little function of the weapon there. So in power armor, this thing looks pretty good, but what happens when you exit power armor? How does it fare? Well, let's find out. Also, how'd you keep that sniper rifle in? Doesn't matter. Okay, so we're detected, and this thing in third person looks a little bit like that. So it's quite big, but not entirely oversized. Doesn't look like it completely dwarfs you. So we just finish off these gunners here, and as you can tell there, this thing is going to do a ton of damage. We'll jump back into our power armor, and we'll finish off the rest of these guys. Ooh, the nice little combat animation getting in the power armor. Very good. Okay, so I'm going to shoot this turret over there, and I'm going to see if you notice something interesting about this weapon. Apart from its bad accuracy, anyways. Aha, did you see that? This thing is not hit scan, and I'm not sure if you saw the traces, but yeah, they're there, and this thing actually has bullet drop attached to it, which is kind of interesting. Also, that's a cool trick, Gunner's Plaza. I've never seen that one before. So we'll just keep going on, mowing down the gunners. Don't hit the sneak button. Power armor is not for sneaking. We'll go ahead and crush some people like this. Go in a third person, just stomp around, shooting people like that. It's pretty good. Now, even with power armor, the recoil is exactly the same as it would be in without the power armor, which is kind of interesting. I like what the massive revolver rifle did. If you're not in power armor while using it, it actually caused damage to you because of the recoil of the gun, which is kind of interesting. I'd like to see that sort of thing, except more recoil outside of power armor. That makes sense. Anyways, remember that shotgun one I was talking about? Well, here it is, and we've got the basic sights here, which looks pretty good, so we'll just get stuck into some of these gunners there. Using this in close quarters is probably how we're going to play this, because We're only hitting for about 11 per pellet, which doesn't seem too great. Yeah, I don't really rate this weapon. It doesn't seem to be performing very well there. Although, we seem to have gotten a good amount of damage on that crit. Okay, looks like the mysterious danger will kill the other Captain, Bridget. That's the synth version, don't worry about her. And we'll quickly finish off these guys. In fact, we'll drop a fusion core in that room because, yeah, it's a little bit too much. And we can knock these people down. I love using that fusion core thing. I was going to sprint into that person, then I realized I couldn't sprint in first person while reloading. But you can do that in third person. So if I pop the reload button and start sprinting, maybe it's not in power armor, but you can definitely do it outside of power armor. Whoops. Okay, so we've got a jetpack on this thing, so no need to take the stairs today, very convenient. And we'll go over here and see if we can make the shotgun work against this particular individual. Whoops, that's a semi-auto one. That's for later. Alright, shotgun one now. And maybe since this thing isn't using a suppressor, it's not doing as much damage. Well, obviously that's the case, but yeah, I wanted to have a loud and proud one simply because the animation, the sounds of this weapon are actually really cool. So we'll just quickly knock off that gunner there, go back into first person, jump up here with our jetpack, and quickly kill that guy. So we seem to be doing okay, but compared to the standard version of this, if we do it like shot by shot, let's see. So 207 damage and a whole bunch of numbers. Might have to actually look at the health bar to actually come to the conclusion on which one's powerful. But at least the projectile one, or the single projectile one, seems more powerful and probably more viable because range is sort of what you want with this thing, even though it's not really playing to its strengths all that much, seeing as there is bullet drop and bullet travel time. But anyways, we'll go ahead and explore that more in the next section here. We'll grab our sniper one that I pulled out accidentally before, but that was a little bit of a teaser. We'll also jump out of this power armor. Okay, so we're going to run this particular gauntlet again. We're going to leave them alone for now, and then we'll start with these raiders, or maybe that scavenger over there. He's going to get hostile when I get close to him, isn't he? No, he's a friendly scavenger, so you know what, we'll just leave him alone. Gerald over there, he's going to kill all those gunners, so we'll just move straight onto these super mutants here. This is going to be the semi-automatic one with a 4x see-through scope there. I'm not sure about the reticule on it. I think it's a little bit sort of over the top, but we'll see. So we'll go ahead and take out some of these super mutants now, and as you can tell, we can get a decent amount of damage, although we're going to have to look out for this thing inaccuracy because yeah, it seems to be have a little bit of base spread at range there, but 788 damage is nothing to be sneezed at there. As long as we can be sort of accurate with it, then that seems to be good, although being accurate with it is a little bit harder since it likes to deviate all over the place. It's like Fallout weapons all over again, or Fallout 3 weapons all over again. Okay, so now we are in danger. That guy's close enough. Since this is a weapon with a see-through scope, using this in third person will zoom in as much as iron sights, which is convenient. Accidentally reset the reload animation, which is super long, by the way. Yeah, that's another thing about this weapon. Its animations, or its reload animations take a while, so if you ever get to a point where that thing's resetting, then yeah, you're going to be you're gonna have to wait a while compared to some of the other vanilla weapons of this game. But yeah, that's fine. We seem to be doing okay with this thing. I guess it's more of a sort of a DMR type weapon. That light can bugger off. And okay, no point in trying to sneak around now, but we'll go ahead and go on a third person again and try to rapid fire this guy. So despite this thing being quite inaccurate, getting up close with this thing is probably the best thing you can do with it, I guess. So in terms of its versatility, it's not really that great since it can't be really that accurate at range. You're going to end up missing a lot of shots that are, you know, dead in the middle of your screen when you target it. And I believe that one's just got a basic assault rifle. I'm going to give him a big old surprise with this thing. Oh, bit of a crash, little frame rate droppage thing there. But nah, Fallout 4 is rather stable, to be honest. It's much more stable than its older brother Fallout 3. And definitely Fallout New Vegas. Although I find Fallout 3 is the most unstable there. Ha, you've got a minigun. What's that going to do? That's going to do absolutely nothing. What a terrible weapon Bethesda made that thing. Okay. We'll just quickly get stuck in the rest of these guys, and you can see there that there is a little bit of a tracer thing. It's like we're shooting golf balls at these guys, glowing golf balls. They seem to be massive projectiles, and it's neat that we can get the bonus of sniper whilst using like a reflex sight type weapon, even though we can get a little bit more zoom in with first person there. But I probably wouldn't recommend putting this thing over 2x zoom, because obviously its inaccuracy is going to make it quite annoying to use. So like, if I could just platform my way around here, there should be one in here real quickly. That was only a brute, so he'll go down in one. We've got a doggo in here, or maybe two. There was just a glowing moody hound. Oh, he's run out. And what have we got around here? It's just another basic super mutant. Now it's a warlord, one I didn't finish off earlier, so we'll quickly kill him. And now, with probably all those gunners at the Boston military checkpoint dead, we can move on to Gerald over here. We should be able to kill him nice and easily there. So yep, we got him knocked down immediately. And the good thing about this fighting big tough enemies like Gerald is that he's such a massive hitbox that you're basically guaranteed to have a hit. I mean, maybe even super mutant warlords, you could say that about it, but you know, he's something else. He's like the size of a bus or 7, so yeah, he's pretty easy to fight. And since we can use this thing and fire it rather rapidly and get these sneak attack criticals to kill him, as well as the knockdown effects from sniper, we can keep him pretty much locked down for as long as we need. In fact, we'll pull out an automatic one, seeing there's lots of dudes coming at us there, and we seem to have a little bit more success there. Although we are in detection now, so we're gonna have to pull this thing out in VATS and see what we can do there. I don't expect it to be the best in VATS, and obviously it isn't. So that's a shame. I believe there was someone else in the scrapyard that I missed too. Also, that hit did nothing. Oh, he nearly got us there, but that first hit did nothing. We just took that swipe like a champ. I believe that was one of the Unstoppable magazines perk. It might have kicked in there, which is convenient because Gerald, he seems to hit a little bit harder than Swan. The fact that he's backed up by a lot of other super mutant warlords too makes him a little bit more of a tough fight. But yeah, you become as tanky as these guys in late game, so these guys really aren't a problem. Looking at my health bar now, yeah, it's just a joke. They don't arm them with particularly dangerous weapons either, so yeah, that's another problem of this game. None of the high level enemies are that imposing. Nothing like the overlords, which are actually a threat, a tanky threat, but a threat all the same. But yeah, super mutant warlords in this game, they're usually armed with basic laser rifles, which is really nothing to be worried about there. But there you have it. That was XM50 in sniper mode, and again in automatic mode, in not in power armor there, and it works pretty well, I guess. Maybe if you got 10 strength, you can run around with this without power armor. Or maybe you've hit the gym and have giant shoulders compared to the rest of my companions like Captain Bridget. Have you ever noticed that? I made her look a little bit more muscular than the rest because she's a big tough gunner. And I guess as a roleplay thing, maybe she might be a heavy weapons person. But she wasn't that in XCOM 2. I've been talking about this a lot, but I've really enjoyed that game. I actually finished it last night, which was great. And Bridget was the ranger, so she was running up with shotguns and critting people. So yeah, if I had to choose her class, it'd probably be the grenadier, because I think she'd be suited to more of a heavy gunner type person. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Alright, we'll move on to something else, because you probably aren't here to hear me talk about other games. Okay, there's a ghoul over there. We've got the rapid effect on this. Let's quickly kill it, and I think we'll call that a video there. So firing the glowing snowballs at this thing gets him staggered every time, so as long as we can keep him staggered, which is a little bit hard when the reload animation is so long, we can kill him nice and easily there. Now we're not getting the help of the sneak attack criticals. We'll just move into VATS for a little bit and take a couple of torso shots there, so yeah, that'll be more guaranteed. For some reason, it's actually really hard for VATS to calculate headshots against ghouls, and that is because they're probably always twitching around. So yeah, if I guess you wanted to... Ooh, again, we just tanked that damage. What is happening? I'm either getting super lucky today, or just Bridget is super tough for some reason. So thank you, mysterious stranger. Almost 1,000 damage on that person. Although that's left me super vulnerable, because you can't skip out of a... hang on, I'm going to reload VATS here, because I'm not sitting through that animation and letting this bastard kill us. Ooh, that was really close. Yes, the only annoying thing about the mysterious stranger is that you can't skip through his animations, and that means if you've got a massive ghoul running at you like that, or any other enemies that's on the verge of killing you, you're probably going to die unless you get super lucky like I did there. But we just out-tanked him, so that's fine. Get away from me, bloatfly, you bastard. Alright, we'll quickly finish off the rest of these insects. That's a vampiric blood bug. Yeah, what, we'll go for a crit on you, why not? There you go. So there you have it on that level up. I think that is good enough. We'll call it a video there. So that was the XM50 battle rifle thing. My computer just went annoyed at me for some reason, but yeah, that should be fine. So if you'd like to see this thing in your game, be sure to check out the description. It's on PC and Xbox One alike, so yeah, it's a pretty neat weapon mod. If you like yourself having heavy weapons, go away, perk chart. Enjoy the victory music too. Yes, if you like yourself having more heavy weapons or more of a viable heavy weapon in your game, then yeah, it's a pretty good choice, so be sure to check out that description if you're interested. And I'll also leave the companion mod for Bridget down below too, why not? Thank you for watching, guys.